I'm out of labels for the label maker. It's a beautiful day. My eyes are messed up from working in there. My neck is messed up from working in there. We're pretty much good to go with everything I wanted to achieve in there today. I think the junction boxes for the stuff that has to go forward have arrived here at the shop. I might pick them up in a bit, but first I got some outside projects I want to take care of today. What I've done here is introduce, look, this is yet another mock-up really. I got a pair of these beautiful Merriman bronze turnbuckles with half-inch jaws for about 80 bucks a piece on eBay. They seem brand new. I neglected to ask the seller what the story is with them. I didn't know Merriman was making, if they were old stock, they were very well packed away because the grease is still fresh. I got this done today, even though I'm probably going to replace the forestays very soon before she goes in the water. I wanted to free up that black turnbuckle, the cheaper black turnbuckle, because I need it for one of my bob stays, one of my whisker stays, pardon. That's looking a lot better. No sag. Looks pretty good. The turnbuckles are a little jarring, I guess, aesthetically, but their job is important. This is just better. I haven't done final tensioning. It's kind of tricky because if you make, say, the port one too tight, you can also make the starboard one tight because the end of the bowsprit is going to start to deflect. But it's lined up really good right now. I think the best way to do it would be to have another pair of eyes watching from a distance, lining up the bowsprit with the mast, which is standing up pretty damn straight right now. And, you know, but it's plenty good enough. The more I look at and think about what I got going on there, I think the concept is really not worth doing, because I see that even if I shorten that up, if I remove 2 of the 3 shackles in that linkage, I'm not going to be able to really, I'm not going to have anywhere to foot the Yankee without something lashed to the bowsprit. I think it would make more sense to have maybe a larger shackle, get rid of the swivel, have a larger shackle at the very bottom that I can get whatever hardware I need, or even line to secure the Yankee when I'm flying it, and have the block be something that has to be living. Actually, it doesn't even. I could make a horse. I could make a spliced eye that lives on the mast just after the krantz iron, with a little. I have a couple little wooden stopper things. Yeah, and just clip the block to it when I need it. Makes more sense. Well, today's a big day. We're gonna put some bottom paint on this old girl. I just gave her a little spritz batch to get any dust off. I was doing a little sanding today on the tiller, my kind of rough, basically temporary oak tiller that I put penetrating epoxy on. I thinned it, but probably not enough, and it went off. It kicked a little too hot. Got some bubbles, some blushing, but I sanded it down, and I just put a thin coat of varnish on it. I'm going to keep throwing varnish on it all day. I'll pause with this or whatever, throw another coat of varnish on it. I almost went right up on the boot stripe. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep real thin right up here. Just keep putting several coats on that. Drying out before my eyes, practically. It's cool. Should be using wireless mics. I know it's probably all white noise. I have a good feeling about stretching 2 gallons. enough. Because this stuff's going on really well, even thinned like this. I'm really impressed with the hiding, the way it just covers the bright colors. It's crazy. This is just spray Rust-Oleum, by the way. I figured I'd give it a try. It's held up pretty well. Maybe a few more coats. But for now, I'm just gonna, I got some gray on there earlier. Now, this is my first boat, but I've been around when other people are painting, are putting on the usual, stinkier anti-foul. And I gotta say, this is amazing. It kind of smells like a latex paint, but less so even. It smells kind of like white glue, but very faintly. Boy, that scratches. Best not to look at that stuff too much, buddy. That and the checking. And the seams that are starting to open. Well, the paying is starting to open a little bit. I thought about doing a pass with thinned seam compound on, like places there where it's kind of come off one side. And I was advised not to. That it would be worse to put too much stuff in there before she can take up. Which makes sense. It could actually damage the wood, I guess. She is a little bit fragile, just a little bit. She's not what she was when she was new, that's for sure. She's not what she was 20 years ago, I'm sure. 47 years old this year. And left in the water for almost the last 10 years before I got her. Very, very, very bad thing. Whoa, that was close. Before I go around again, I'm gonna kind of finish all this rudder area up. Now this is taking longer than it should to go around and around like this, but the reason for it is with this first thin gallon, if by some miracle I have a little left over, by the time I get to the bottom, I can throw some more of it up near the top, get a little extra up there, it'll be dry enough. It's all about protecting as much as possible the area just below the water line. The growth down here was minimal. There was a lot of anti-foul left. In fact, some of it is still here. But yeah, so up there it was really bad. There was bare wood for years exposed to everything you don't want your wooden hull exposed to. The next coat, I might thin it a little bit, not as much maybe, I don't know. if I don't thin it, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to go from one end of the boat to the other. It's just a lot faster. I am getting my steps in. Easy, too much on the brush. Look at that brand new worm shoe. Who made that? He knew what he was doing, I'll tell you what. Get back to the starboard side. A little stiff today. I'm still recovering from that week in the electrics locker after almost a week in the engine room. Trying to work as much of this stuff in the little cracks as I can. They are going to close up again, but I want something in there. While it's doing that, while it's swelling up. Yeah, look at that. You can see bare wood in there. It's not good. Alrighty, you still watching this? You should get a life, seriously. Port side is done. I didn't bother rolling any on the lead yet because I want to try to use up this first gallon on wood as much as possible. I also noticed I forgot to clean under the lead, the parts that I can get at. It's pretty nasty. It should probably get a light coat on it, even though it's going to get rubbed off pretty quickly once I get the boat going in these shallow waters around here. So far I haven't gotten any paint on my face or my arms, which is great. I'm going to take a breather and tackle the starboard side, and I am not. The sun is like, yeah, I'm not going to get another coat on today, I don't think. I'm going to keep going with what I got here until it's all gone. Well, it is beer o'clock and I am done with the first coat. I used 1 gallon thinned and had enough left over to come back and apply about a 6-inch wide second layer just below the boot stripe all around, and almost made it all the way around the vertical sides of the lead. So that went much better than I thought. This is cool stuff. We'll see how it works with this boat. I think tomorrow when I do the second coat, I might try to do another sort of coat and a third. I might thin the next gallon, because this stuff is pretty chunky even when it's thinned. Well, I haven't seen this in a while. This is kind of impressive until you realize it's linoleum, and it's too dark. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but this is not permanent. At least it's all in good shape, you know. It's not peeling up or anything like that. But I don't like it. I don't like it aesthetically. I'm about to open this, which could be pretty scary because it's been closed for a while, and I cleaned it out and flushed it out, but not 100%. I think I'm going to wipe this down before I do that. I just finished cleaning part of the bilge. The boat is looking good outside. I touched up, did some freehand touch up here and there on the red, at the boot stripe and under the rub rail. Where is that vinegar? What in the world? Hello? Hello? What the heck? Oh, down here with the cleaning products. Crazy. It looks a lot better. We got 2.5 coats of anti-foul. I still haven't done the bottom of the ballast keel. I really should. I'm not doing any more outdoor work today because rain is not exactly imminent, but it could arrive earlier than forecast. Yeah, I'm gonna open this now. You ready? How bad do we think it's gonna be? I just wish I'd gotten all the debris off first, because it's hard to get stuff out of the bottom here. Oh, it's not too bad. There's nothing like, there's no fruiting bodies. It just smells really, really funky. I've got to redo this weather strip at some point in the near future. I've also got to re-epoxy these lids. They're getting a little rough around the edges, literally. That isn't too bad, actually. I'm just going to let it air out. I don't want to put any more water and or vinegar in there, because if I pump it overboard, it's going to go right on my new paint. So, and I'd rather not have it sloshing it around in here for the survey and for the launch. I can always do that. Once she's in the water, I'll give her a good fill this whole thing with water and vinegar and really give it a good flushing out. I got to buy an electric pump too for this. I really do. That is the pump to drain the ice box when the ice melts. And in order to get at it, I gotta go like this. Or you can't even, yeah, there, my foot's on it. It takes about, if it was full of water, would take about half an hour of doing that. Look at it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd rather put an electric pump somewhere. I got to figure out where would be the best. Probably needs to be back there and up high. And then I'll have a switch nearby. Probably not on the door panel. Something really convenient to the counter, just so you can, I don't know. Oh yeah, I was starting to say, I might try to wipe it out. I got to go away for a few days. So I've got work on Saturday, 3 days from today. I might go home tonight. I was going to go home tomorrow morning, but the rain forecast has pushed back. Yeah, I got to get stuff at home for work, and I got to go home and touch base, literally, clean out the mailbox, all that stuff. And take a little break from this. I'd like to take a hot bath. It's been a long time since I took a hot bath. I'd have to clean the tub, but it'd be worth it. I'm not even gonna wipe it. I'm just gonna get some vinegar in there and leave it open for at least 2 days. Yeah, until I come back and begin the next little project, in which case this will turn into a giant catch-all again. But first, we must continue cleaning the rest of the bilge and maybe get some stuff out of here. I've started moving bits and bobs, scrap wood and junk like that. Not everything. I was going to do it in one giant blitz, but I don't have to. There will still be a big blitz at the end. But, yeah, and I'm going to vacuum out the rest of the bilge. I will do so. Once I get everything out of the boat, I'm going to give her a good cleaning from top to bottom. Bust out the pump sprayer and get a nice bath of vinegar and boric acid and salt water, as high as on as much of the interior of the boat as I can, behind all the finished wood, and into the bilge and all that good stuff. It's kind of fun to be cleaning for a change. What am I saying? Figure since I'm leaving today, I may as well wind up the clock. I can't remember how many days it's got left. It's basically an 8-day movement. I'll just wait for the second hand to go by. think this clock needs a name. Any suggestions are welcome. A Russian name, of course. I think male would be best. Still looking for a barometer that will not match it, but be a little bigger. That'll look good next to it. That's what I'm looking for. And wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay, it was close. Seven turns. I'll clean that later.